anybody else. Just increase as you and God get intimacy together. Huh? Come on. It ain't no big deal. Don't think nobody else. I don't have no more authority with God than you do. The intimacy with God is for all of us if we'll take it. In other words, for that to happen, he must increase in my life. He must be the one that lead, guides, and direct me in my heart, where I think, what I do, my personality, all of it, I yield to him. That inner man must be in control. Definitely, John was. Yes, he was. Have mercy. Look at the 31st verse. He that cometh, listen now, he that cometh from above is what? Above all. Now, I didn't know they was going to sing that song, did I? That he's above all. None like him. Are y'all beginning to see what God can do? I don't know they're going to sing that. But isn't that what the song just said? Yes. He's above. He's telling you in his word, it's above all. He that is of the earth is earthly. That's all their mind is on. And you see some mess. I don't know why the Lord made me look at it, but I happened to be flipping through this pawn shop out in Beverly Hills. Some left-handed fella came in there and made it look like it's with a little dog kissing all on it, and bought the dog a $41,000 necklace. That's foolishness, isn't it? He had right to do what he wanted, but that's what God said. That's earthly. All he's doing is popping off in front of somebody. I don't care. You have a right to do what you, but that's an earthly thing. And we'll look at that and think that's the way to go. Oh, no, no, you want to go down that path.
No, you don't pass it. That's a dark path. No, you don't. No, Lord. No, Lord.
I don't care how they try to make it look. They still got to go home and look in the mirror. And they know what they've done and how the ill-gotten gains or whatever. I'm not going to judge. And speaketh of the earth. When you're around somebody and all they talk about is what happened down here, you better check yourself. I don't hang around too many folks that never say something about God. I mean, come on. If all they want to talk about how many rings they got, how much, what, I got this and I got the other. And I'm going to buy this new thing come out. Do you know on just tech alone, the new gadgets, we spend $54 billion on cell phones and all the stuff that we wrapped up, but yet we say, I'm broke. Only when they come to church. Now don't get mad at me, let's be real now. You don't have no money to let God increase down here to reach more, but you have money to buy all of the earthly trappings. God didn't say you couldn't have them, but too much time, they got us. Everywhere you look. Don't even know how to communicate even more. What I'm talking about, that's earthly. There's nothing wrong with having a phone. I know we made pretty well, didn't we? Didn't have no phone, did we? We learned how to get around and it wasn't no big deal. Got out. You had to send down the chain. You tell him and you tell him. Next thing, we all met where we needed to meet. But now, I've heard somebody, I just can't make it without that. Huh? What if the battery died? They don't think, you see what I'm saying? A simple thing as a battery, we get hung up on our cars. One look, the computer get out of whack. You ain't going nowhere. But we trust in those things. And speak of the earth. He that cometh from heaven is above all. Get that in your heart. He's above all your circumstances. He's above all or whatever's going wrong. All I got to do is talk to him. I said, he's above all. Would you read this? That's that time the Lord said. See, he's above all. Once you understand that, then See, I don't have no better sense. They'll tell you, that's what the Lord say. You read this. I really ain't going to tell you I know exactly, but I know it'll line up with this. What it say, baby? I think, what was it, 56, 9 through 13? Okay. Remember, now, he's above all. Doesn't matter what it is. What does it say?
Pastor, you said 56?
Psalm 56, 9 through 13. Yeah, what does it say?
Okay, I'm reading out of, remember, the New King James?
Don't matter, she'll say the same.
When I cry out to you,
there you go.
Then my enemies will turn back. This I know, because God is for me. In God I will praise his word.
What you say?
In the Lord I will praise his word.
My God.
In God I have put my trust.
My God.
I will not be afraid what man could do to me.
What you say?
Vows made to you are binding upon me, O God. I will render praise to you, for you have delivered my soul from death.
Wow.
Have you not kept my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living?
Now understand, he told you if you get it right up here, you have control over your will. That means you can walk in the light. But he said what? In the light, in the land of the living. You ain't got no business in darkness.
None.
You don't play with dirt. I said, if you play with dirt, the dirt will get you.
Every time.
Woo! I better hurt. Listen to what God said. See, all that, and woo, Lord have mercy. Let's keep on going here before I get this. Now listen, he's above all. And when I cry to him, it doesn't matter what's going on, because he's above all. Yeah. What? So, whatever it is, whatever you got going on now, put it in his hand. And I guarantee he'll show himself mighty, and he'll show himself strong. Listen. John 3 and 32. Listen. And when he has seen and heard that he justifieth, and no man receiveth his testimony. No cannot, but yet they can if they will. Look, if some folks ain't going to receive this, ain't no need of you getting all up, been out of shape about it. Just trust the Lord. He has his own timing.
Yes, he does. He does.
I know we got a lot of folks we'd like to see saved because we love them. But wait a minute, it says here, and what he hath seen and heard, that he testifieth, and no man receiveth his testimony. He done told man, you are a sinner. Well, some folks will tell you in a minute, I'm not a sinner, I'm a good person. I give thumb to the pole, I do this and another, and they can think of 100 different things they do wrong. But you haven't surrendered your soul to God. Now, I would have to give him credit for this. The Bible said, whatever good thing you do, the same shall you receive of the Father, whether you be bound or free. Now, I can't judge them. I don't know what God's timing is. All I must do is be that light. He said, what are we? We're the light of the world. We're the salt. That sometimes your mere life and how you've overcome will sting somebody into understanding, wait a minute, I'm fighting with it, and they're just walking through it. Somebody ought to help me shout anyway. Now here's another thing that we must deal with. And it's amazing how you use biblical mathematics. John 3 and 33. The full Godhead is represented here 3 times. Now, it's more there than that. I want you to pay attention now. Listen now, please. He that hath received, I said, he that hath received his testimony, has set to his seal that God is true. And I love the fact that she read that, the Revelation 15 and 3 again. I'm just going to go. And they sang the song of Moses, the servant of God, and the song of the Lamb, saying, great and marvelous are thy works, Lord God Almighty, just and true are thy ways.
Yes, Lord.
Thou King of saints. Okay, that means you're a virgin, you done made it, you're in good shape, you're with him, you're with the King and his dominion, the kingdom. You're in there. Now understand, set his seal that God is true. What are we saying here? In other words, what God is really saying, those seals must be in here. Now, I'm not going to get in. That's another whole study right there. But I would ask you to read Revelation 6. You'll see all 7 of them in there. And it'll lead you a little deeper. That's something you could study on your own. I tried to go and break them down. The Lord said, no, they can read it. Just that simple. But now we are going to go to Revelation 9. Here's where it gets very beautiful if we will let it. See, what did he just say? Have set to his seal that God is true. You're not buying into nonsense. Revelation 9, I'm going to read it rather hurriedly, but it's a special verse, and I want you to pay attention now. Now, understand the locust is a Hebraism, or the etymology of it is Satan's army. That's all his fallen angels when they get kicked out of heaven. I know a lot of folks get bent out of shape, but I'm sorry, we might get a chance to get there. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power. Understand? And they don't have none. God given them that power. Just like when he said, "If you consider my servant Job, I'll give you power. Go ahead, you can touch everything but a soul. Help me, somebody. And as the scorpion of the earth has power." In other words, a scorpion, the etymology, I don't want to be too graphic, a scorpion has no stomach. All he got is a ventum. And he stings it, and that ventum breaks it down. In other words, if you let Satan sting you with the flyaway doctrine and all the nonsense, you'll be eaten up by him. And it was commanded them. Now listen now, God said, now look here, boys. I'm sick of you now. I didn't kick you out so I can have some peace in heaven right now. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing. You know, in Hosea, that God says, I'm a great fir tree, means green. They can't mess with none of that, so we ain't going nowhere. Thank y'all. Any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men, listen now, which have not, what? The seal of God, where? In their forehead. Now you begin, that's why we got to ask you, what's in our heart? What you got up there? What's churning? Is it earthly? Or did it come from above? You have to make that. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. Now you have to go back to Mark 13 when Jesus said, if I didn't shorten the time, even the very elect would be deceived. Oh, Lord, have mercy. And I don't want you to be in this crowd. Lord, tormented for 5 months. And their tormented was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. Understand, these are nice pictures of what will happen if you don't have the right thing up here. If you can't count from 1 to 7, you're in trouble. And then some folks who thought they was right gonna have to end up, and Lord, and in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like on the horses, the path of battle. You got to understand, when you hit that time, hey, too late then. But you and I can prepare ourselves, what? Right now. Well, Pastor, let's get some book on this so you'll understand. Revelations 12 and 7. We almost through for today. A few more verses, and we out of here. But I want you to begin. We're going to start at verse 7. This is who he's talking about. And if you read on down here, boy, you see them dudes got some nice hair. And you'll see the last verse about give it to you, give you his name in Hebrew and Greek. Abaddon and Apollyon all break down to being Satan. The 10th verse, and they had tails like scorpions, and they were sting in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. You could go on and read that. In the Hebrew tongue of Abaddon, you need to have you understand these things because he's going to be kicked out. Yes. Revelation, and there was a war in heaven. Y'all hear that? Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. That's one of his name. And the dragon fought against his angels and prevailed not. Neither was there a place found anymore in heaven. That bends a whole lot of Christian folks out of shape. And the great dragon was cast out. That old serpent, there's another one that's off, and the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. That's why you can't think earthly. The world is cosmos. He was cast out into where? The earth. And his angels were cast out with him. That's the locust army we just read about. Y'all hear that? Okay, I'm just trying to, and I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ. For the accuser of the brethren is cast down. You have to understand, Satan always telling God something you do wrong, which accused them before our God day and night. And they overcame him how? By the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony. Because what? You receive his testimony. And they loved not their lives unto death. Lord have mercy. Therefore, rejoice, ye heavens. That's why all the good and perfect gifts come. And ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, you're thinking, and of the sea. Now remember, in this case, that's people. For the devil is come down unto you. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Having great wrath, because he knoweth that he has but a short time.
He knows that.
Now God is true. That's all he know how to do. Can't touch you. But unless you let him. Let's try to finish 36, a few more verses. And we're going to close this out. I want to give you some things that you begin to understand that he is above all. Do you have certain things? Do you know you're not going to be caught up in no rapture? I told you, but when I studied for myself, I quit listening to man. I started digging it out for me. Because I'm the one got to stand before the Lord. Okay? Remember now, you got that seal. The truth of God is where it's sealed in your forehead. And don't get burned up by 666. They can put it on your forehead, down your leg. As long as you're sealed, you know what the words say. You don't have no problem. Now, John 3:34. For he whom God hath sent speaketh the words of God. For God giveth not the Spirit by measure unto him. I'll give you all the power you need. Remember, we're supposed to be Christ-like. You talking about the Father, listen now, loveth the Son, and has given all things into his hand. That's why I like that song. He got the whole world. Wouldn't it say about it? In his hand. Got the whole wide world in his hand. Got me and you, brother, in his hand. Little bit of everything. He that believeth on the Son, Lord have mercy, no doubt about it, emphatically, have everlasting life. And he that believeth not the Son shall not see life, but the wrath of God abideth. Did it say in him? Didn't say that. It abides on him. Why? Because he don't have nothing in him. That's how simple that is. Last two verses. 2 Corinthians, I want you to underline these, and as the Lord tell you, start memorizing. It'll bless you. Now understand it, 2 Corinthians 1 and 22. This is an incredible verse if you will let God speak to you. See, we got to know this. Once we give our heart to him, you know, a lot of folks say, I need to be saved. No, you don't. You need to repent. God didn't fail. You did. When he did what he did it right the first time. Let's get a book on that now. Whom now, listen now, whom he has sealed us. I said he sealed us. Just like he had that hedge around Job. Who he has also sealed us. And what else have he done? And given the earnest of the Spirit. But where did he do it? In our heart. What's in your heart? Can you let the Spirit rule up there? Can you look at a woman and appreciate the beauty of God? Or do you undress them with your eyes? Can you look at a young man and appreciate his handsomeness without wanting whatever and how many six-packs he got and all that? Just appreciate what God has done. If you allow the Spirit to rule, you can do that. I said you can do that. I'm trying to stop, but it may be a couple more after this I have to do. I'm trying, y'all. Now listen, listen. Ephesians 1, verse 13. Now this is the prerequisite now. I'm very sorry. I can't change it. You got to do what it says. This is what it says. In whom you also trusted. If you don't trust in him, I'm sorry. Amen. Ain't nothing he can do for you because you told, this now, in whom you also trusted. That's what I'm hoping, past tense. After that, you heard. Now, you got to hear after you heard the word of what? Truth. God is truth. Thy word is truth. They heard the truth, which is, now they specify the gospel of your salvation. Now, underline that. Wait, there's a whole lot of gospels out there. But it may not be the gospel of your salvation. The gospel. That good news. Just what she's reading about this morning. You hear them saying, oh, Lord, I better her. In whom also, after that ye believe, ye were what? Sealed with the Holy Spirit of promise. Woo!
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Thank you. Yes, Lord.
Closing with these two. I'm too happy to read them. Just read Psalm 94, 17 and 18. Psalm 94, 17 and 18. That's my last two, church. I want y'all to remember. See, it's so much in that. You're sealed. Do you know that? Is it in your forehead? Is the truth of God really up there? Because he'll keep your mind. See, I was trying to think about it. It's a poly, like when it says, thou will keep him in perfect peace. Thou wilt. It's like a polyscendentence. More going on there, if you let it. When he say these things, you got the gospel of your salvation. Whole lot going on. Read it, baby. What it saying? We're closing with that.
Unless the Lord had been my help,
Woo!
my soul would soon have settled in silence.
My God.
18.
When I say,
If I say my foot slips, your mercy, O Lord, will help me up.
Yes.
in the multitude of my anxieties within me, your comfort delights my soul.
See, now I didn't say that the Lord moved on to that. Are you beginning? He wants to comfort you. He wants to delight your soul. Which one will you let in your heart? Which one do you let in? Negativity or the Spirit of God? Is it